Welcome to Disciple Fast Track, into the Word, into the world. I'm Grace E. Matthew, lead pastor of Community United Methodist Church in Naperville, Illinois. I'll be with you for the next 6 weeks as we talk about the book of Genesis. The first 2 chapters of Genesis have given rise to interesting yet difficult questions and a whole lot of controversy. Some might say that the creation stories should not be engaged in polite company. These stories are seen as increasingly difficult and divisive in our world. One of my friends reads the first 2 chapters of Genesis as factual stories of how God created the universe and everything in it. He argues that the earth is not more than 6,000 years old, and furthermore, he argues creation stories should be taught in school as creation science. Another friend argues that the creation stories are simply Hebrew poems or hymns or myths that bear witness to the power of God. She argues that radiometric dating and other evidence show that the earth is billions of years old. Furthermore, my friend argues only evolution counts as science. These 2 friends are so passionate about the creation stories, and each believes different things, yet they are both members of the same congregation, read from the same Bible, sing from the same hymn book, claim the same baptism, share the same bread and cup. They are both people of faith. It could be that both friends bring truth to God's self-revelation in the creation stories. After all, the book of Genesis is not a science book. It is a theological writing concerning God's relationship with and actions in the universe God created, and more specifically, with and in the lives of human beings. In reading and discussing the biblical accounts of creation, one writer suggests that it is helpful to take the approach of the Native American storytellers who begin their tribe's story of creation by saying, "Now, I don't know if it happened this way or not, but I know this story is true." For me, the biblical creation story set forth 3 basic truths which are very significant. First, God created the universe and all life. God did not create by destroying a primeval being or by warring with other beings to bring order out of chaos, as the religions of other cultures of that time claimed. God called creation into being by the power of God's word. The second basic truth is that God's physical creation is good. We, in our physical bodies, are good. This is no small point. There are religious traditions and philosophies that do not believe the physical world is good. And truth is, some of us are influenced by Greek thought, which tends to treat the body as a prison for the mind. The third truth is that human beings are special to God. The religion of the dominant culture in the region was developed by the ancient Sumerians before 3000 BC. It was adopted by the Semitic Akkadians, who shared the geographical area and culture of the Sumerians. It was the religion of the Babylonian Empire when Babylon rose to a position of power, and it was the religion of the Assyrians. In short, it was the religion of the entire Mesopotamian area for about 3,000 years. And that religion was very clear as to why humans were created: to perform services for the gods. Not so, said the theologians in writing Genesis. God created humans in God's own image with free will and gave them dominion and stewardship over everything God had created. My two friends might be comforted that in Genesis we have two creation accounts from writers whose stories are very different. The editor of Genesis chose to keep both stories. Both are different, but the basic truths are the same. God created, and God's creation is good. And I believe the editor was inspired to make this choice. The cosmic power, the person of God, the all-powerful master of the universe cares about each of us.